Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so this is the pitch for our Grimm's Fairy Tale audio drama. Now, ours is going to be a bit different, considering me and Kieran couldn't really agree on a story, so we decided we're going to each do an adaptation, and we're going to let you guys decide on which one you think is better, and that's the one we'll focus on. So the story I'm choosing to adapt is Little Red Riding Hood. It's a pretty well-known one. Girl is going to deliver baked goods to her grandma, comes across a big bad wolf who wants to bake goods. She wolf goes to the house, pretends to be grandma so he even can eat the girl, and it's got a few different endings. Some of it, both girl and grandma are eaten by the wolf, some of it they run away, and another one, which the one I'm going to adapt, is where a hunter comes along and saves both of them and then kills the wolf. My idea is it's going to be in the form of a police interrogation following a police detective named Ian Hunter and a master thief called Ruby Hood, going by the name of Red, who works for a small-time kingpin called the Wolf for a job went wrong to pay for her terminally ill grandmother. Now, before anyone asks, I had no idea Dexter and Connor's thing was so similar, so it's just pure coincidence. But the reason I went with this idea is because nostalgia. I've always liked Red Riding Hood and thought it's a story I could have a lot of fun with if I did my own spin on it, and I'm really into crime shows, and especially in movies and TV shows when it's a bit in the interrogation room. I just find that really interesting. It's always something I wanted to try myself. Now, a lot of the inspiration I had, again, the interrogation thing, is mainly from TV shows like Elementary, Lucifer, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and the characters I kind of took inspiration from as well. Like, the personality of Red is more based off of Baby Driver, and her namesake came from the character of Ruby Rose from Ruby, who was kind of based on Red Riding Hood anyway. And the Wolf is going to be sort of a legitimate businessman type of crime lord, similar to Tombstone from Spider-Man. But yeah, I'm going to look at some other examples for my main research, but that's my idea all done.
So I went with Rapunzel, and the story is just a lonely couple are expecting a child. She falls ill, her husband, assuming, needs a Rapunzel so she can get well. Dame Gothel takes the child in replacement of the Rapunzel, calls her Rapunzel, takes her to the tower, blah blah blah. So how I will adapt it. I've went with a lonely mother who's pregnant is travelling through the forest to her own home. She starts to feel kicking and her water's break, so she sits down. A young-looking man emerges from the trees and offers his assistance. It was a matter of death or living, so the man was carrying some Rapunzel, which would keep her alive.
Helen.
Hannah,
Sorry.
get out. Sorry.
You're right. He offered a deal, child for Rapunzel. She agrees, so he takes her to the lighthouse by the seaside. He names her Rachel, and she grows up to be beautiful with long ginger hair, hence the Merida up there. I thought not golden, we'll go with ginger. She turned 12, she was locked up in the lighthouse, which was blocked up from the bottom, so there was only the lonely window. One day a fisherman is out fishing. Rachel is singing Beyonce songs, hence the picture of Beyonce. It's a working thing, but I like Beyonce, so that's my inspiration. He goes over and discovers that there is no way in. He returns often to listen to her sing Beyonce. One day he sees Dave Gothard, quite like Dame Gothel, entering by using Rachel's hair. They fall in love, they plan to escape. Dave returns and sees a belt that is clearly not Rachel's. He gets angry and hits her and cuts off her thumbs. She is then strapped and gagged, hidden under the bed. When the fisherman calls that evening, Dave lets the severed hair down so he could climb up. To his horror, he sees the two thumbs sat on the floor in a pile of blood. He launches out the wardrobe and wraps the belt around the fisherman's neck. He tries to struggle out, but the fisherman backs up to the window, causing Dave to fall. He hits the solid cold floor and splatters his head. Sad. Rachel squeals lightly due to the gag, and the fisherman hears her. He unties her, and they both leave the lighthouse. They eventually set off in his boat back to his dock, where they live a happy life. So, for my sound effects, I went with some Zazie pictures. So we've got birds because they start off in the forest, so we've got like tweeting and stuff. We have bushes, you know, lumber. We've got her screaming when she's, you know, giving labour. We've got when he gets angry and he smacks her. We've got the crashing cars to represent that. Seagulls for the dock. We've got waves for when they're on the boat on the way back, and we've got a creaky floor for the old lighthouse. Any questions?
Okay, before we answer any questions, so the vote is
No, any questions first?
Oh, questions first, okay. Questions first. Abby.
Was Rapunzel 12 when this all happened?
Yes.
Did she fall in love with a fisherman when she was 12?
You don't know how old the fisherman was.
That was just
Is he also 12?
That was just what was in
No,
my
he's a
head the
little
whole
older.
time.
Okay. Yes, Gavin.
How do you expect to fit yours within 5 minutes?
Quite easily, actually. I know, damn it. I haven't thought about that as much, but it does sound like a lot, along with like Alex's did. But it will manage to fit in 5 minutes. Yes, Vicky.
Well, how do you plan on using sound effects to tell the story?
Well, considering it's going to be set in a police interrogation, I was thinking for the interrogation room you could hear like a tape recorder in the back, and when it's like Red's talking about certain aspects of the story, it may go into a flashback, so like you hear what's happening. And considering I'm planning on setting it in like a modern day city, you'll have like city sounds like cars going by, traffic, pedestrians, stuff like that. Alex?
So is the whole of your thing in an investigation room?
Some of it is, some of it isn't. I'm not 100% sure if I want to set it all in the investigation room or not yet though.
Any more questions? Right, you ask.
Okay, so hands up for the Red Riding Hood adaptation.
4. Hands up for my yep, you know what I mean. Oh, that's very nice.
Looks like we're going with Rapunzel then.
Okay, thank you. That is the end.
Any more questions that you
Oh,
guys got?
that is not the end. Any more questions?
I just really want to know if you're going to keep her 12.
I mean, what would you have her age as?
Not 12, just like maybe
Yeah,
like,
so what would you
so
have?
like
13.
18.
So you recommend...
Make you an adult, yeah.
Okay, I'll take
If
that
you can't
into
fall in love as a child and go for the fisherman, because that's just a bit wrong.
Okay, I'll take that into
Agree.
consideration. Thank you for that. Yes, Vicky?
Other than like the background noises, like the waves and the footsteps and the creepy floorboards and that, what sounds are you using to tell your story? It goes from what you said, it does look like you probably could do like using sound.
You've got me there, Vicky. There will be like, obviously a lot of the background effects. There'll be a bit of like tense dialogue that will add to it, and you know, it'll be quite strong if there is quite a bit. And that is my answer for you. Any more questions?